anybody that's got a power station will now be able to run a diesel heater in their van. Hi folks, welcome. So it's another cold day in the Shire and I've still not got the diesel heater sorted out. Check this. As you can see, it is still just a mess with wires. The only thing that I've got hooked up is this 12 volt to the lights. It's just a spaghetti junction down there, so I still no heating. Let me just organise a wee bit, get some lights on. That's mildly better. I mean, it is a simple setup and I will get back into it, but my brain has to lock into it in order to understand it, if you know what I mean. So for now, we still have no heating in the van. Or do we? Well, thanks to the guys over at Hcalory, I might have a solution for my heating. I'm looking in the screen for the camera and this thing looks absolutely massive. Honestly, it's not that big.
That's what she said!
So Hcalory reached out and asked if I'd be interested in reviewing their Hcalory Toolbox Max 8 kilowatt hour all-in-one diesel heater. And if you were wondering what Hcalory stood for, the H is for the unit, the calorie is for the unit of heat. Hcalory. So initially Hcalory did reach out and they wanted to send me a different diesel heater, but it was kind of similar to the one that I've already got, but it would have meant that I had to uninstall it, and because I've not got all the wiring in, it was just a bit of a faff. I like how it is installed and I don't really want to mess with it. So that's when they came back and said, do you want to review their new flagship diesel heater hitting the market? Let's get it cracked open and have a look at it. Look at the size difference for the box it came in to how actually big it is. And then in the big box you get another box of accessories and also the manual. So you've got your usual ducting. I'm not really a fan of this ducting because I don't feel like it's very flexible. I feel it breaks easy. Then you've got your exhaust pipe with your muffler enclosure. This just basically slots in there. Brackets, Jubilee clips, and this diesel heater does come with feet to help raise it off the ground so that exhaust pipe isn't going to burn whatever it's sitting on. Got some electrical cable, and then we've got the 12 volt cable. So again, this would go to your fuse box and this would go to the diesel heater. So normally every power station comes with this setup. You have to put it in through a fuse box or even straight into like a leisure battery and stuff. But now we have the choice of AC. So why does that matter and why is this a game changer, especially for power station users? Every single power station I've ever reviewed on this channel, I've tested my diesel heater with every single one of them. Going in through that 12 volt socket, all of the Blue 80 line that I've had will run my diesel heater, and my diesel heater is a 5 kilowatt hour diesel heater. Just to clarify though, all of the power stations will power up the diesel heater and get it running. The problem is cooling it down. Every all power station that I've had will run the diesel heater, but it won't cool it down, and it's just to do with the 12 volt port. I don't know why the Blue 80 one is able to do it, but the all powers isn't. So the fact they've included this diesel heater with an AC power cord, this is a game changer because anybody that's got a power station will now be able to run a diesel heater in their van. Now I'm going to put out a caveat right now. The Lord giveth and the Lord taketh, and what I mean by that is, yes, we can now use any power station because we've got AC power, but this is made for outdoor usage. But then you're like, Robert, what if I get to the park up and it's absolutely raining cats and dogs? Well, the swan song of the Toolbox Max, this is waterproof and rainproof and snowproof, so Hcalory's got you covered, so you've got no excuse not to put it outside. So I'm guessing this is going to be the inlet with the big grill on it, and it has nice rugged handles on it, and then this must be the heat output, and on the front you've got a nice meter showing how much diesel's in the tank. I quite like that. So let's turn it upside down. So on the bottom you've got the exhaust pipe and it's got a nice thermal covering on it, so I'm guessing that's just to help keep the heat in so it doesn't burn whatever surface you put it on. Up top we've got the fuel tank for where you put the diesel in, and that's pretty nice as well. It's actually got a filter cap, and then down here we've got a wee lid. We've got the remote in here, or the LCD panel, so we've got another remote here. This is all contained in this one wee storage box here, so basically you're never going to lose your remote and everything just folds away like that. So first things first, I know I'm not going to be wiring it in because my fuse box isn't set up, so we don't need this. So we're just going to go in through the AC, and let me tell you, I'm excited as anything to see how this works and to see how much watts it takes heating up and how much it takes on the cool down. So let's get the exhaust pipe on. It is a tight fit, but I suppose a tight fit can only be a good thing. So let's get the Jubilee clips. And I think while we've got it like this, we'll put the feet on as well. And just like a normal diesel heater, with the muffler, you don't want to have it flat, you want to have it facing that way so that the drainage hole can let out the condensation, and the hole at the top is just so you can put a screw through and mount it. On the side, that's for the ducting. So that's it literally set up. With regards to the ducting, I would change this because again, there's no flexibility. We're not going to be able to test that in the van because it's just not going to be long enough. I would advise that if you're going to go for this setup, get a more flexible ducting so you can get it stretched and it can go to where you need it. But aye, let's get it outside and test it. So this is going to be my modest setup. We'll set it up on the Mount River table. Aye, that's metallic, we'll test it on that. And to power it, we'll go in through the Elite 100 through the AC. It is a good length of cable they give you as well, but as you can tell, it's no ideal with that ducting because basically we're going to heat up the garden rather than the van, because the way that I was going to have it, put the new flexible ducting on it, and obviously you would have the diesel heater probably sitting about here, and then what I'll do is get a wooden surround and make it the shape of the window, and then slot it in and have the big cutout for the heater vent, and then that would just take the hot air into the cab. Your exhaust is going to be here and your cold intake is round the back. And as you can see with the legs provided, we're not touching the ground or anywhere close to it. There we go, so we've managed to get just under 2.5 litres. We'll take this remote control out, right, so we can't close it with that out, so we'll try and leave it up like that. So because the Bluetti has an app as well, we can turn the Elite 100 on from here. AC on. Power. And there you go, we're up and running. So this is the monitor in standby mode. Up the top you've got a clock, you've got the altitude distance, which just now is 0.2 kilometres above sea level. The display data and parameters, so just now we're reading 13 volts and that's coming from the Bluetti. So in order to get this turned on, literally all we do is hold the power button for 2 seconds and then it'll come on. And we're away. So as you can see on the diagram, we've got the blue and we've got the red. So the blue is the intake and the red is the ducting. H4 is different heat settings, and that's going to be controlled by the up and down arrows here. And then on the left you can see the wee symbol, that just means the glow plugs are warming up. But as you saw, we never primed it, we basically just turned it on, so you don't actually need to prime this diesel heater to get it going, which is a massive plus. The ticking's getting quieter. You can see the exhaust now working as well. So let's turn the temperature up. That's definitely kicking out a bit of heat now. It's no loud, but it's no silent either. So this is on level 7, so let's see how much watts we're taking on the power station. 72. And on the power station it's saying we can run this for 32.3 hours. So let's lower the level and see how noisy and how many watts we get then. So I've tried to do it with the remote, but I think I need to charge it. So what I'm going to do is turn it down via the LCD screen. Let's take it all the way down to 1. And let's see the wattage on AC and how low it goes. So level 1 on an 8 kilowatt hour diesel heater running from the AC. Look at that, it's all the way down to 18 watts. And it's still falling. And as you can hear as well, it's also getting a lot quieter. To me this doesn't sound any louder than the diesel heater I've got in my van. But do you know what I can't hear? Can't hear any ticking. So we heard ticking at the start when it was pumping the fuel, but I can't hear any now. But check this. We are down to 10 watts. my van heats up very quickly, and this is on the lowest setting, and it's only taking 10-11 watts. There is ticking, but it's so faint that you couldn't even hear it from over there. It feels more like a rumble and not a tick. I've just been having a look at this while I'm waiting in it charging, and it's not just a remote control. This is also a temperature and a CO meter. So you can do the normal things like set the temperature by pressing up. You can see on the monitor, I'm turning it up. So that's at max 10 now. So we'll take it back down to 1. And the remote can pretty much do everything that you can do on the screen, so technically you never need to touch that screen because it all can happen from here. As you see, we can go in and set the temperature. So if the temperature gets to a low temperature, this will automatically kick on, and the same if it gets to a high temperature, it will basically throttle back, I'm sure. And there's a wee button on the side here, you can turn it on and off. So being this close, it's saying it's 60 degrees. So that is pretty cool and reassuring to know that it's got a CO meter at the bottom and a temperature meter at the top. And to turn it off, you just hold the power button for 2 seconds, or you can do it on the remote as well. So let's do it on the remote. Hold for 2 seconds. And now what's going to happen is the diesel heater is going to go through its cool down cycle, and as you see, we've went straight up to 180 watts. But again, if you've got any hesitations and wondering if your power station will be able to run this, or your inverter, just look up what the AC output is, and as you can see, mine is rated for 1800 watts. So I've just heard the fans come right down, and that's it. So we can now pack that up, put it in the van, or do whatever we want with it. So let me show you how that works. Go to add device, pick up the heater. So with the app we can actually see the voltage, body temperature, ambient temperature. So the setting just now, high plateau, means that we're at high altitude, but we're not, so we'll turn that off. As you can see, we've got heating down here, and this is just to start it. And as you can see on the monitor, it's just kicked on. Level 5, level 5. And we're doing this now from our phone, so that's now 3 ways to run this diesel heater: from the LCD panel, the remote control, and from the phone. So I feel like from the phone we can get a lot more information. Just now we're at the ignition stage. You can see on the power station it's at 209 watts just to get the glow plugs up. To stop, it's just the button in the middle. There you go, so it gives you a warning. It's shutting down, don't power off the device. It can take a few minutes because it has to go through the cool down cycle. It says it on the LCD panel as well. So let's cover the pros and cons. The first one for me, I would say, is a joint first place between how fast it is to set up and AC power. It just shows any power station that has an AC output over 200 watts is going to be able to run this diesel heater. Another pro, it's light and very portable with these handles. I do love the visual representation of the diesel meter, so you can see just exactly how much diesel you've got left in the unit without having to, you know, open it up and take the jug out and stuff. And leading on from the fuel level, the pouring hole is nice and wide, so you're not going to spill it. Another massive pro is that remote control with the CO meter and the temperature. The other pro is how many ways you can control this diesel heater. You've got the LCD panel, you've got the remote control and the app. And another pro for me is the fact that there's no ticking. You can't hear it. Once this is at temperature, it's just more like a and I think the absolute biggest pro for this, because again you can't really use this inside, it's more for outside. It's fully rainproof, waterproof and snowproof, so the fact that you can use this out in the rain and still be nice and warm and toasty in your van is just amazing. So what about the cons? The first one, which you'll probably already guess, is the ducting. I'm not a fan of that rigid ducting. When I put my own diesel heater in, I changed that completely and I got this nice insulated flexible one that you can meander in any position. The ducting for me, I think, is one of the cons. Funnily enough, is leading me on to the second con, is actually the hole or the port that the ducting sits on. There's literally hardly any purchase on this. It would have been nice for an extra inch just so that everything can grab on there nice and tight, but I just found it just slipping ever so slightly. But other than that, that's it. So who is the Hcalory Toolbox Max for? Anybody that needs heating in a car, a camper, a van, a motorhome, a garden house, an off-grid house, tenting, camping, man caves, sheds. This thing is so portable and light and easy to set up. It's literally just the same as taking a power station anywhere. Take it where you're going, fill it up with fuel, use the AC, and away you go. The other all-in-ones were made for outside, but they weren't waterproof, so if it rained you would have to bring it in, whereas this is fully waterproof. And again, you don't need to take anything apart, you don't need to lift anything out. So for me, the leap in technology and where diesel heaters are now to this is amazing, and the fact that it's still nice and small is just brilliant. So guys, if you want to go and pick up the Hcalory Toolbox Max for yourself, Hcalory has generously given me a 15% off for the UK and US market. So for the UK market, the 15% off code is RobnDob15, and for the American market, it's Hcalory Max. So guys, that's going to cover it for this episode. Tell me what you thought of the Toolbox Max down in the comments. The fact we get a DC and an AC option to power this is just mind-blowing. Now, I do know that there is 12 volt to 240 volt adapters with the UK plug socket out there, and I'm going to get one because I was going to show and do a review of it with the current diesel heater in my van. Because I get that many different power stations, having the AC means that no matter what, I can plug it into a power station and I'm going to have heating in the van. But for me, this is an amazing bit of tech. I feel like the market is screaming for this now. There's loads of people in van life, car camping, even out camping in tents and stuff that are screaming out for heating options just now. This is going to blow it out of the water. So guys, if you did go and enjoy the video, why not drop it a wee like and let me know in the comments. And if you really like the video and you like clicking things, why not hype the video? You can do it on your phone only. It does help the video, but it helps the channel massively and it gets the videos out to more people, and I'd really appreciate it. So thanks again Hcalory for sending me out the Toolbox Max. Until the next one guys, peace.